Hello there and welcome to another daily reading. So today we are doing each of the star signs for a reading for the day, anything that comes out, and then we are also gonna do the question at the end of the channel question. This person is coming towards you, so who it is and why they can't kind of live without with you. So hello there Meredith, hello there Lynn. So I will be doing some free cards of the day at the end, but as I was discussing just in chat, I'm going to try and do these at like midnight in the UK, whatever time it is for you now, and in the UK it's like midnight, and I will be doing Monday nights as doing the normal tarot readings and such. So that's going to be like just full on cards of the day, and also just doing full on mediumship as well, so rather than star signs. So we're going to get started today. So we're going to start with earth signs. Pick a few decks out for your earth signs as well. So that's Taurus, Virgo, I almost feel like you're all over the place. You need to trust your own intuition more, earth signs. I almost feel like you're kind of gone off kilter, confusion. Hello Victor. It's almost like gone off kilter, gone off confusion. You're all over the place. It's almost like you're dropping all of your spoons. You're dropping everything right now. You need to trust yourself, you need to trust your own intuition, particularly trusting yourself, because I do feel like people have been holding back communication or holding back knowledge from you. And I do feel like in general that you are trying to focus on just the positive, and you're not really seeing that they may have ulterior motives. It isn't quite gaslighting, but it's adjacent to gaslighting. Like, it could be gaslighting's cousin, you know. It's so close to being it, it's untrue. Basically, it feels like that they are trying to kind of confuse you a little bit, trying to push you back a little bit, and it's so that they can get their own way. I do feel like this person has messed up themselves, and they don't really want to admit that they have messed up. So instead, they're making you feel unsure of yourself. It does feel more like a work or career situation for most of you. Some of you could be a family member, but there's almost this air of coldness with them. Like, you already know they're kind of cold to you, and it's just not what I would expect from a family member. But some people do have very cold family members, but this is almost like militant kind of mentality of like just focused on them. Like, this is just me. This is what I want. So there is an element here of pulling back and going, you know what, I'm not going to just think that they're just out to be positive towards me if I'm getting that kind of nervous and fearful. And it almost feels like you have to kind of walk on eggshells with them. It's that nervous. I feel like you wouldn't be making as many mistakes here. Like, yeah, you wouldn't be making so many mistakes here if you were a little bit older and wiser. And by that I mean as in, like, you don't really realise that this person is taking advantage, being problematic. You don't really realise that, and it has kind of rocked you to the core a little bit. And I feel like that if you had kind of experienced this and had a little bit more, like, I don't want to say thick skin, but a little bit more like, you know what, I shouldn't just believe somebody straight away and think that they're being positive when they're making me feel like this. You would have shut this down earlier, but you're giving them too much of a benefit of the doubt. You're giving them too much of a expectation when you already know they're acting cold. I'm sorry to hear that, Victor. I'm sorry to hear that your mum had been doing that all day to you. But yeah, there's a lot of like frostiness here. This is why I didn't want to say it was like a family member, Because this is like a level of coldness you would normally see with a colleague. This isn't like, you know, what I'd expect from a family member, but, you know, some people's family members are like that. We got full moon here. I am reaching my highest potential. New moon. I have power to shape my own reality. Waxing moon. I am aligning with the universe. So, what did I point you to? That these are like almost like the main phases, really. Except for like the waxing. Like, you are starting to get to a certain point where you are reaching your potential. You're gaining your own power. You're gaining your own confidence. You're having the ability to shape the world and your life around you. And I almost feel like this person feels a little bit powerless because the fact that you haven't been able to speak up for yourself before. And it's kind of getting them a bit nervous that you're going to outgrow them. And because of that, they think that you're going to leave them behind. That you're going to get to a certain point where you don't need them anymore. And that kind of scares them a lot. And it's a kind of a situation where they don't want to admit that they've done any wrong or any problems or any issues. Like, they don't want to admit that. Because they don't... It's almost like they expect to put this I'm perfect, and it's more like perfect version of themselves out to the world. It is a little bit narcissistic. I almost clicked on the narcissistic one that I had lined up for tomorrow. And I do feel like that there is a certain level of them being so focused on themselves or so focused on how they appear to others that they kind of sabotage relationships because of that. I don't feel like they're complete a narcissist, but some of them are. But it's more to do with them being focused on their image and how people perceive them rather than how the people feel by having them in their life, should I say. So, arcans, rain, light, I can't even read it, sorry, my eyes are going a bit funky. Arcans or light rain. Rain is crying clouds. So, I just want to bring you to this one with the rain is crying clouds. I do feel like the universe is kind of feeling your pain in this. Don't feel like you're on your own. Universe, spirit is feeling your pain in this. Wealth, livestock. Wealth is a conflict of kingmanship. So there is conflict between the two of you to do with finances, and I feel like it's the fact that you are gaining wealth, you are gaining prosperity, that it is kind of pushing you forward. It is pushing you into having these arguments, having these disagreements. I'm going to get this stick out. I don't usually use it on here. It is Magic the Gathering cards, but I made it with a friend a while ago. But I am getting drawn to use it. I don't usually use it though. So we have got Kathina, Teller of Tales, Human Druid, Vigilance. So I do feel like you're having to be quite vigilant here. You're having to realise that you need to kind of get the balance of the elements in order to move forward. And I feel like more than anything, this is you having to return to a certain point where you can kind of focus on what makes you special, what pushes you forward. I just want to move these out of the way though a second. I just want to grab some more cards. Actually, I want to grab some gemstones for you. These are the ones I use for gemstone casting usually. So we've got the rose quartz heart. Rose quartz heart. I was going to say rose quartz heart, but it's a rose quartz moon here. I almost feel like I want to give you a rose quartz heart. Don't think I've actually physically got one on the table anywhere near here. But I almost want to give you a rose quartz heart. And what I want to give you is almost like a palm stone. And I just feel like if you can kind of keep rose quartz around you at this time, it's going to help you a fair bit. But if you can't, just focus on that love, that kind of embracing that self-love and self-esteem. And I do feel like that's going to help you to progress forward and help you to align yourself moving forward. But it is about self-love, and it is about being able to put up those boundaries with them, because they are being rather difficult, rather problematic. We got the mushroom here. One thing I want to say from the mushroom, what I'm getting drawn to by this, is I'm going to butcher this, but I'm trying to remember the exact wording of it because I just was given a flash of it. Basically, it was somebody making a comment about how they should be a mushroom, how you should be a mushroom, that you grow from the dark and that you basically consume the enemies around you, kind of thing. So basically, like, mushrooms can grow in any condition. They don't need light, they don't need anything, they just need a tiny bit of water and something to hold on to, and they will grow like wildfire. And they are very powerful as well. There's all this stuff about when you look into like psychic divination and all this kind of shamanic stuff about how that mushrooms and mycelium is all connected to us and how they believe it created us having our first spiritual awakening. I feel like there's more to it than just saying it's mushrooms, but that's another thing about Babylon and Babylonians, which is going to be a long story to go into. But there is a certain connection here with mushrooms and moving through life with mushrooms, how they grow and how they can kind of transform an entire area. So you can transform the entire area around you, and even though you have been without light, without care, without compassion because of this person's actions and behaviours, it doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. It doesn't mean you're always going to be in this position of not having that care and support, because you are dealing with somebody that is being very arrogant and being very pessimistic towards you. So don't allow them to kind of make you feel like that nothing can move forward here. We got the deer spirit, bring a gentle touch. So you do definitely have a bit of a gentle touch here. Very calming energy, that you help to calm those around you. And it's important to remember that you have a lot to give to the world and you have a lot to give to others around you. But because of this calming spirit that you want to help others, you want other people to feel better, you can get dragged into other people's nonsense sometimes. And I do feel like that's what's happening here. To get this card, but he's a little bit stuck. Hummingbird spirit, be here now. So try and be in here in the now, enjoying your passions, enjoying what you need to do. I almost feel like some of you actually need some time away to enjoy creative ventures or just creativity, whether it's even just listening to some songs and chilling, vibing. And white raven spirit, trust in magic. Do trust in magic, because although you are getting a bit run down by this person right now, you have the ability to transform yourself and transform the world around you to really kind of bring you back into that fold. So I'm going to carry on now. So hello there, Sir Blue. I'm going to have a quick look into your love life as well, but I do feel like this person is overwhelming you at the moment. So I don't feel like your focus is on love life. I can tell you that straight away. I feel like you're a bit too busy right now, but we're going to have a quick look. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Star card in reverse. Queen of Swords here. And we've got the Seven of Wands. So, yeah, I do definitely feel like this arrogant person that we've talked about is kind of blocking your romance right now. The issue here is that you're pulled away from romance. You have somebody on the horizon that I feel like for many of you, this is either literally somebody new, for those of you that are single, or for those of you that are in a relationship, it's a new beginning to the relationship, a new start. But you need to leave this kind of toxic past behind. The toxic past is that person, either literally cutting them out completely, or for those of you who can't, it's more putting those healthy boundaries in so they don't bother you as much anymore. I do feel like you're going to overcome this. Try to make some time for them, because I feel like if you have that person in your life already, try and make some time for them, because they're going to help you to kind of get that clarity under, remove those burdens, relax a little bit, de-stress, and help you to see clearly that this other person is being kind of stressful, is kind of stressing you out, that kind of thing. If you are single though, spend some time with friends or family, away from this situation. That again will help you with this, but particularly for those of you that are in a relationship, spend some time with your significant other, talk to them about it and say, look, I know you don't want to cause arguments or disagreements, but this is kind of what's going on. This is the problem that is going on. So I do feel like for those of you that if it's a relative and your other half you're trying to talk to your other half about it, they will be a little bit reluctant to dish the details, but they will try to help. So I'm going to go and move on now to air signs. So this is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, what do you need to know today? So, I've got a few decks out here for you. Just picked up a few decks for you. So, straight at the bat, air signs, I feel like you are having a chance to stretch, to enjoy yourself, to party a little bit, but generally just enjoy yourself. This is like a rolling back my shoulders. I've worked really hard. My hard work is starting to pay off. It's starting to come to fruition. And I feel like that this is more to do with like what you've been trying to achieve, your goals. You've had to work hard for it. And because you've been having to work hard, you've been not able to kind of enjoy yourself. You're not being able to have much of a break. And I do feel like there is a bit of a break coming in here for you today. This is like allowing you to kind of really see things from a brighter and better perspective and really kind of see, this is where I'm going with this is where I'm headed with this. And I feel like more than anything here, this is allowing you to kind of see and realize, you know what, I need to realize that there is this brightness here, there is this new beginning. And with the Eight of Pentacles here, your hard work is going to pay off very well, very, very well. But I don't feel like necessarily it's all come to fruition yet. Yes, you're going to have to take more action, but you're having to kind of wait a little bit. So this is almost like the first phase is done. You're enjoying yourself, you're having a little bit of celebration, and the next phase is coming in for it. I do feel like it's quite positive though. I do feel like it's majorly positive. You are getting justice coming in though, so, and I feel like this is like brightness, hope. This is very much like you're getting rewarded for your hard work. You're getting either given something monetarily or given some other kind of reward. For many of you, this is like literally a monetary reward for your hard work. Spirit Guardian of Winter, retreat. You are being asked to retreat at this time. Raven Spirit, truth. And we have got rainbow waterfalls, miracles. So with this, you are being asked to kind of retreat away from the world a little bit. But I do feel like majorly this is so that you can kind of relax, recuperate. It's almost like giving yourself a little bit of a breath. Take this time, take the time, because I just want to get drawn to like the raven spirits here. Like, there's a whole thing around Odin and the ravens, about how the ravens are like the eyes and ears of Odin. And in general, like, there's talk about how you can train up ravens and they're very smart and they will follow you and everything like that. And here with the raven spirit, you are being given this kind of nugget of truth. You're being given this insight of the next step forward. Listen to what they're saying. Observe what they're saying, because that's really going to help you to create miracles in the next batch. Don't worry about it. Don't fuss about it, but use it as a way for you to kind of a little bit subconsciously map out what you might want to do next. And I feel like with the rainbow waterfall here, there is miracles coming in for it, as in there is some really good times ahead and some happy new beginnings ahead for it. So this is almost like an increase in prosperity coming in again after this already like gift from the universe kind of thing coming in for your hard work. It's like it's taking the next step to give you a whole new miracle or a whole new beginning. I just want to get these two as well. So we got Antelope Spirit, life is speeding up. Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. Sandpiper, be playful. So be a bit playful right now. Be a little bit playful, because that's also going to kind of spur on your creativity. Sometimes when we overwork, we get to a certain point of exhaustion where we've kind of used up all of our energy that we've had available to kind of do all the work we could and should be doing at this time. And I do feel like the big issue here is that you're kind of getting to a certain point where you're pushing through, you're pushing forward, you're pushing through. And you need to realise that with the Antelope Spirit, your life is starting to speed up and speed up. So while you've got this little time, play, because that's going to invite in more creativity into your thoughts, into your ideas, and that'll help you problem solve later on. Because that's really the wonderful thing about understanding how to problem solve. How to be creative and fun and enjoyment is it's going to help you to problem solve later on. Use your mind wisely here with the Pig Spirit, because I do feel like that you'll be getting some recognition and accolades for how you are able to kind of use your mind, the intelligent ideas you're coming up with. And I do feel like it's going to make you feel quite proud of yourself. Kind of embrace that, because I feel like there is a little bit of a hesitance here for you to speak up. Like, you don't want to speak up, you don't want to talk, you kind of are a bit worried about sharing your ideas, because what about what other people think, what about what other people say. So there is that a little bit of an element there of what is other people going to say, what is other people going to think, pulling you back a little bit. So be careful about that, because you may be kind of shutting down your own ideas or shutting down your own voice. So we got breathe deeply. Breathe big, let it all in. Expand your fabulous belly. Who cares if your jeans feel too tight? Here's the idea. Buy a bigger, roomier pair. Deep, full breaths invigorate you. They release the sadness and allow ecstasy to flow in. Pause. Inhale a long, slow, big, delicious breath. Exhale. Remember, whenever the going gets tough, take a deep breath and trust that you are capable of greatness. So take a deep breath as you kind of relax and realize that you are very capable of greatness. You're very capable of creating amazing things in your life, but you do need this relaxation. You do need this kind of time to kind of shut off a little bit. That being said, we're going to have a look at your love life as well, because I do feel like this is a time to kind of enjoy yourself, kind of focus on maybe, you know, having some special times with a special someone. But we're just going to make some little bit of room here. We're just going to make a little bit of room here. To know about your love life. Okay, this is going to make sense for some of you, but not others, and I'm just going to have to say it. All the best. Please take it if you can take it. If you don't worry about it. It's just my guide being a bit of an idiot. All the best people in the world are called Chris. All the best people in the world are called Chris. So take it if you can. If you can't, don't. Hello, Mira. As for love here, I do feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, you are on the right track for love and romance. There is a bit of heartbreak, and I feel like many of you have been heartbroken of late. Like feeling a little bit like it's a heartbreak. It's nothing but a fool's game. Feeling a little bit like love is a little bit of a fool's game. With the reverse of 10 of Pentacles here though, I do feel like there is this element of releasing and letting go and letting God. And I do feel like you have kind of, for many of you that are single, because of this heartbreak, because of this pain, you've kind of just gone, I'm just going to focus on what I need to get done. I'm going to focus on my career. I'm going to focus on what I need to get done. You know, love is just a fool's game at the moment. I'm fed up with people treating me badly, etc. For those of you that are in a couple, this is like you're annoyed at your other half or you're a romantic person and you're like, I'm just not going to deal with them right now. I'm just going to focus on me. And I do feel like there is this element here of almost locking off love a little bit. But I do feel like this is the time to start unlocking it though. I'll look a little bit deeper though. You are stuck right now, but the person that is around you is trying to be truthful with you. So those of you that are either in a new relationship or that you have people that are coming in that are trying to get with you, or the person you're dealing with already, they are trying to be truthful with you. They're trying to be honest about what they want. And they do want to work on this. They do want to put some hard work in. But it's almost like you're cutting them off before you're giving them a chance to really get to know you. Before you're giving them a chance to really get close to you. So there is this element here of just cutting it off before it gives it a chance to grow and glow. We have my beloved. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are united. For love transcends time and nothing is missed. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do. For it is only in being true to yourself can you be true to others. So don't kind of just make decisions based on what's happened before or how you're feeling guilty or how you're feeling betrayed about this. Realize that, you know what, I need to just be true to myself. I do have romantic feelings for them. I do have attraction for them. I need to see where this goes, you know, and I do feel like that's what the issue is. You're kind of holding back how you feel out of this fear of being hurt or out of this fear of the person is going to hurt me or betray me, that kind of thing. You're kind of holding all of that back, and it really isn't healthy for you. It really isn't going to help you to align with it or to move forward or to progress. It'll keep you stagnant, don't blame this person for either silly mistakes in the past or somebody else is doing. Realize that we are all on this pathway of growing, of learning, and it's only through like messing up that we kind of realize our mistakes, and we actually realize how we need to progress forward and how we need to move on. And I do feel like for many of you, that's what you're needing to do. You're needing to push on and progress. So there is this immediate need to kind of allow yourself to love and allow yourself to feel again, because I do feel like that's an issue here. You haven't even like let yourself feel. You've kind of just cut it off to a certain point where it's not even good for you or anybody else. So be aware of that though. Hello there, Harpoon Hawking. Hello there. So I'm going to do cards of the day at the end. I've got a couple more groups to do, but that was the air signs. We're going to go on now to the water signs. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpios and Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. So, what are you so anxious about? What are you so anxious about? When I tried to switch energies, immediately what I got put on me was like this anxiety in my chest. Like real anxiety. Real nervousness. Like lump in your chest, lump in your throat. So much anxiety. But I almost want to say, before I even get the cards out, I almost want to say it's like you put on this brave face to the world. You seem like you're perfectly okay. Nothing ever bothers you. You're strong. You're confident. Nothing's ever going to go wrong. But really, it's like a swan. Like, if you've ever seen a swan in a pond, it's like the swan is looking all graceful on the pond. It's swimming along. It's looks like it's not doing anything at all. It's just gliding on the water. And then underneath, it's paddling its little damn heart out, it's paddling like crazy, and that's what you're happening underneath the surface. On the surface, you're looking like you're all graceful and everything's fine, you're all calm. Underneath it all, you are panicking, you are desperately trying to keep afloat, you're desperately trying to keep everything together. And I almost feel like this has been put on you, like everybody else expects you to be strong, you're expecting to take on. And I'm just getting all this intuitively. You're expected to take on everybody else's pain, everybody else's feelings, everybody else's issues, and you're never really having a chance yourself to relax. Sometimes if you are doing either spiritual work or doing anything to do with care or taking care of other people's feelings, etc., sometimes we spend all our day taking care of everybody else, and then after it all, nobody takes care of us. And I do feel like that's what you're having to do. So you're having to kind of give yourself that big hug here, and know that Spirit is going to give you that big hug back as well. Because you're not able to get 5 minutes peace, We're going to have a look in your actual cards though. We got the 3 of Air, Doubt, Endurance, 3 of Earth, Growth. So you are bringing a lot of growth to yourself, but your endurance here has been brilliant. You have endured a lot, you've took on a lot, and you've built yourself up to beyond belief. There is this air of doubt with you. I just want to say one saying with this doubt. To err is human, to forgive is divine. you kind of doubt yourself because you feel like you need to be perfect. To error is human. You are human, so you will make errors, you will make mistakes, you will do things that you kind of regret or you think are stupid. Some of us that are older are very fortunate the internet didn't exist when we were children or teenagers, as we would have a lot of embarrassing things. For those of you that are much older, that it was about in your informative years, your teenage years, I'm sure you got a lot of pictures that you kind of regret. But the divine spirit in ourselves is to realise and forgive ourselves and say, you know what, that was a silly mistake, but it's all part of the learning process. I learn from it and I move on. And that's how you need to become more divine. We talk about like spiritual awakening, we talk about being spiritual people, but we forget that forgiveness is divine and forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools. Because this earth is just a place for us to learn Doreen Virtue. I was going to say Doreen Virtue. No, it's not Doreen Virtue. It's oh God, what's her name now? Mind Fuzz. But one of the other great mediums said basically that Earth is a school, and Earth is a school, and we all come here to learn. And when you're at school, you're going to fail some questions. And that's what making mistakes in life is. You failed a few questions, you don't get angry at yourself. You just study harder and you carry on. And that's what you're having to forgive yourself, because I don't feel like you're giving yourself that forgiveness. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you've done silly things. But that's part of life, you know. That's part of life. So we've got the Ace of Swords here. You've got some insecurities coming in. You are quite secure financially, I feel like, but you're not getting the offers of compliments, the offers of kindness that you need. You are a bit emotionally stagnant here right now. And to help with emotional stagnation, as much as it feels like a little bit of a sidestep, you need to start to take action towards planning for your future. And by planning for a future, I mean more like, do I want to get married? Do I want to be with somebody? That kind of thing. Where do I want to see myself in 5-10 years time? Or even like 20 years time when I'm retired or whatever. You know, where do I want to see myself in 20-30 years time when I'm retired or whatever? Where do I want to see myself? Do I want to see myself in a relationship or married, etc.? Don't just think about the financial side of things, think about who you are going to share it with. And by thinking about that, what you want, it'll help you to open up, because you'll make you realise, you know what? I want to travel the world when I'm like, you know, retired and stuff, and going like a big, like, I don't know, go on a big cruise around the world or whatever. But I can't really do that on my own. Like, I need to choose to kind of take a step out of it and decide to kind of walk away and decide to kind of take care of myself properly and focus on how do I move forward properly. Because I do feel like here with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it's going to make you realise what you are missing out on, and it's going to help you to go, you know what, if I want somebody to travel the world with, etc. or whatever, I need to start working on meeting people now, or work on trying to get relationships now, because I'm never going to get that unless I let people in. And I do feel like there is an element here of needing to kind of let people in and needing kind of let people see who you truly are and what kind of life and what kind of purpose you want to bring to the table. And I do feel like in general this is really going to help you to kind of continue on and to get to a certain point where you are happy to move forward. But yeah, to see that as well to Aries human. Yeah. So we're going to move on to your love life now. I know we haven't got many cards for this section, but I feel like the love life is really most important for you today. Because as much as I do feel like you're avoiding it, I feel like it's a major thing that your intuition is trying to tell you and is trying to bring forth here with the amethyst. And it's bringing in to help to bring in some clarity for you. So what do you need to know about your love life now? You've dealt with a lot of arrogant people here, and it's time for you to take a leap of faith. Take it slowly with them. Don't invest all your emotions straight away, because I feel like one of the issues here of when you've got into relationships before, because you're a water sign, you're very in touch in your emotions. You are ride or die with people. And that just really isn't healthy for you straight away, because you jump in emotionally into relationships without really kind of thinking things through, without really focusing on things. And I do feel like here with the reverse of the Tower card, you need to take it slowly. You know, spend a few months with them dating before you decide to give your heart away. Because, you know, people can be a certain way during the honeymoon phase, but eventually the mask drops and eventually they do change. And when the person changes, whether it's like, you know, they let you see their embarrassing side with no makeup, or, you know, they let you see like how embarrassed they are about liking really corny shows or whatever it is. Or whether it's like something much more harsh, which is like, you know, you date somebody and they turn out to be a narcissist, you know? Whatever it is, you need to give yourself time to really get to know the person first before, you know, open up your heart. So don't cut it off completely, but understand that this is the initial emotional phase of a connection, and you need to take it slowly to kind of really understand how you feel about them and not to rush into it. Because I feel like that's the issue you had before. You kind of rushed into relationships, rushed into connections, which really wasn't very good for you or very helpful. Have some fun with it. Definitely go out on dates for singles. Just don't take action too quickly. Invest a certain amount of time each day with it, but don't get obsessed. So say to yourself, okay, I'm going to invest like half an hour every day to try and date, to talk to people, that kind of thing. Or like a few times each week, etc. Go on some dates, enjoy yourself, have some fun. See it more as meeting new friends to begin with, because I feel like with you water signs, you really need that healthy barrier up here to really kind of say, you know, this is how I'm going to move forward, this is how I'm going to protect myself, and this is how I'm going to make sure I don't get too overwhelmed with it all. And I do want to use the term overwhelmed, because I do feel like you are getting very overwhelmed with it, and it is causing a lot of issues because of it. So because last thing you want to do is just end up getting caught up in love and then forgetting your work and forgetting your career. And I do feel like you have focused quite a bit on your career and what you wanted to achieve, and you don't want to take a step back on that. But like I said before, you can be very ride or die. So when you get in touch with somebody, or when you fall in love with somebody, you are like, oh my god, this is my everything. So be careful about that, be cautious about that, because I do feel like it'll take a little bit of time, yeah? So I hope that helps you out, water signs. I'm going to carry on now to the fire signs, but please check out your other sun, moon and risings. I know it's been mostly to do with love for you, but, you know, sometimes you kind of need to take that step in it. So, I'm going to go on to fire signs. Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. Okay, I've just completely changed now. There's almost this stoicism with you. And if you don't know what stoicism is, it's more like you're like resolved. Like not depressed, not sad, but like I'm resolved, I'm serious, I'm resolved to get stuff done, to take care of my life. There is a little bit of an air of sadness, but I feel like you're getting over that sadness here, fire signs. You're releasing that sadness, and it's been replaced more with stoicism. You're being very stoic. With the Wheel of Fortune here, your life is starting to progress quite quickly, rapidly. And I feel like with the Knight of Swords here, there is this element here of you are starting to learn to put up healthy boundaries. You've dealt with a lot of people who are very kind of arrogant, and you're learning how to put your boundaries against them. You're not going to be taken for a ride again. You're choosing never to be taken for a ride again. You're choosing to kind of take a leap forward and go, you know what? This isn't great for me. I'm going to take a break from it. I'm going to take care of myself. There has been some financial losses for you of late, of recently, but I feel like actually you are progressing forward. You are heading forward. This is really good though. This is you starting to head forward, starting to progress. And you're coming out of financial troubles, troubled waters for your finances. I do feel like here with the Knight of Wands, there is this really positive communication coming in. And this is about you manifesting a new position in your career. So this is you've been working very hard for a long time to move your career forward, to move your finances forward, to progress things forward. There is this element of unsureness. I'm a little bit unsure about this. But with the Six of Wands here, I do feel like there is going to be this positive communication and positive movement forward. The only thing I would say though, there is this a little bit of an issue with how you progress or how you continue on. But I do feel like actually this is going to be quite positive in the long run. There is a lot of hard work to still be done though. But this is like you've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. So financially, I really feel like today you're having a little bit of breath of fresh air. You're going, you know what, I can do this. I can progress financially. And although you're having to be stoic, although you're having to be serious because there is still a lot of, a lot of things to be done, you're starting to feel a little bit of relief from it. You're starting to feel a little bit of, I don't want to say complete happiness, because although I do feel like there is going to be happiness coming in, but right now you're feeling kind of stoic about it. You're kind of feeling quite relieved, but, it's not time for partying yet. But I don't feel like that's too far off, though. I do feel like that is coming in quite soon. We've got the Dove Spirit, Peace. So you're getting peace in, you're getting this dove of hope coming in. Otter Spirit, you are not alone. Do know you're not alone in this, because although I do feel like on a physicality you are alone, you do have other people that want to give you emotional support, and particularly Spirit is wanting to give you support as well. So this isn't you against the wall, brick wall. This is other people are around you trying to help you as well. We've got the Mouse Spirit here though. Tend to the small things. You need to tend to the little things in your life to allow yourself to progress, allow yourself to move forward, allow yourself to get to a certain point where you can achieve and carry on. So, I'm going to move into your love life though here. There's almost like a sense of quiet pride with you, which I kind of like. There's quiet pride. What do you need to know about your love life though? Love life is definitely a tangled mess, definitely all over the place. You are choosing to take action. You're choosing to take action. You want a new beginning. You want a new, almost like a new life, a new romantic life, but a new life in general. But you have been dealing with somebody who's very deceptive. So many of you, this is like an ex who's very deceptive, or suitors that are very deceptive. Or for those of you, it's like a partner that is very deceptive. And they haven't always told you the truth about how they feel. They've always hidden stuff. But you are starting to manifest here with the Magician card. And I feel like you will be getting some positive communication. I feel almost like from them to kind of clear up their behaviour. For those of you that are in a relationship, this is them trying to become better become a better person, offer better to the relationship. For those of you that are not in a relationship right now, this is almost like you taking a step back and going, you know what, this behaviour isn't good, I'm going to move forward in a new direction. So I do feel like this is you started to get like an apology. For those who are not in a relationship right now, this is like an apology from the ex. With the reverse of the Queen of Wands here, they're not wanting to communicate though. They're trying to hold it back, but they know they need to do it to move forward. So it's a reluctant apology, but it's still an apology. For some of you that are in the no contact, this may be just them energetically releasing you and letting go. If it is just an energetic release, you may just feel a bit lighter and brighter and feel like you can move on now. For those of you that are in on and off communication or in communication in general, this is literal. So there is this tiredness here to it though. I don't want to dwell on that though. What about this new thing? You feel a little bit stuck right now, like I'm not sure if I cannot accept the offer. But you have some positive communication. This person is quite understanding, so it's not going to cause arguments by saying, look, I am interested, but I'm not sure how we're going to go forward with this. I'm not sure where we're going to go with this. And I have got some financial things I'm having to focus on. So it's almost like, can we kind of circle back to it when I've got a little bit more time? I don't feel like this person's going to argue with you though. This person is going to be quite understanding. They are quite serious about this. Some of you, they're quite a serious person in general. But in general, they are serious about this. With the reverse of the Star card though, they have been pulling back their energy for a while. And they have found it quite difficult here to understand where to kind of progress from. Because they are worried that they're going to offer you something you don't really want here with the Four of Cups. That you're going to reject this, so you're going to push this away. But with the Knight of Cups here, they do have a huge emotional attachment to you. They are very emotionally connected to you. So I feel like they are going to give you some time to work things out. So it might not be straight away, it might be weeks or even months for some of you. I feel like for most of you it's going to be weeks that this person's going to choose to push things forward or choose to carry things on with you. But they are giving you some leeway to kind of sort yourself out and move forward. So there we go, fire signs. So we're going to progress on now to this person who's coming towards you. But I'm going to shout out in chat as well for the people there if they want a daily reading. So this person who, so if you feel drawn to the title of the video, that this person is coming towards you, who is this person and why is it that they can't really live without you? Who is this person to you? I do feel like this is definitely an ex. They're a little bit too focused on their money, materialistic side of themselves, like money, what they could get, what they could enjoy. And they weren't very good at communicating with you. I feel like that they cut off communication, or they were very bad with communication in general. There was some sort of communication issues here in general with them. They were very immature when you first met them. And I feel like this is their resolution, this is their realization of how childish of a person they were, how much of a bad actor they were, how much like they pretended everything was great and you could see straight through it. I don't feel like you can have movement forward with them, but that's almost because you've chosen to kind of emotionally cut them off. Some of you will still have a little bit of like a interest in them, but I feel like for the most part, you have moved on from them. And I don't feel like even if you tried to get back with them, it would ever be the same again. Like, emotionally, you have started to move on from them. And the point of this is more so you can release and let go and let God than anything else. But this person really wants a new beginning with you, and they are trying to be truthful with you. Sometimes people have to have a one that got away in their life, so they realise how to value other people. So they realise that whenever they're with somebody, if they behave badly, there's a risk that other person might walk away. There's a risk they might lose this relationship. There's this risk that they might lose somebody. And I do feel like that's what this is coming in. They're walking away. They're removing this from their life. They're letting it go. And with the Seven of Wands here, you will overcome that obstacle of reminiscing about them, because being with them would keep you stuck. So see this as actually, I'm glad that this person has apologised. I'm glad that this person has realised the errors of their ways, even though I'm releasing them. Because in some ways it is helping you to realise that you did deserve more than this, and that you should carry on asking for more than this in the future. So I hope that helped you out. I hope it gives you some clarification, and I hope you've all enjoyed this reading. I'm going to log off now because there's nobody in chat that's asked for a daily